Ahoy VC, welcome to the Personal Oasis. This is the Blind Island. I've got my coffee, and today we are going to be doing the segment that we did last week, Top 5 Under 5. This segment was introduced by John at the Digital Gramophone. I'm going to include a link to his channel in our description below because the guy, he knows his stuff. He's one of the most knowledgeable individuals in the VC, so I would highly recommend you check out his channel. It's also hilarious, so give him a check. Thank you so much for this idea. So let's get into our segment. Now, today for our top 5, we're going to be looking at a decade that's kind of maligned in contemporary culture today as kind of antiquated and chintzy, and that would be the 50s. I think that people misunderstand 50s music in a great big way. There was a lot going on. It literally is the birthplace of rock, pop, and modern day jazz, blues. So many great things were happening at the time, as well as country was being diversified. It was an exciting period in time for music, and today I'm going to be sharing my top 5 picks for 50s albums today. Number 5, Hank Williams Sings. This 10-inch was the beginning of the long player. It was made in 1952, and this was the longest form that you could get at the time. I found this record at a thrift store for 50 cents, and it's one of my favorite albums from the 50s. Number 4, Chuck Berry, Berry's on Top. This is a compilation of Chuck Berry's greatest hits from the time, and a lot of people will have differing answers as to who was the true king of rock and roll, but to me, Chuck Berry was the true king. He is phenomenal, and I love all of the songs that are on this record. Number 3, The Best of Muddy Waters. This record is again another comp. Not a lot of albums were made with foresight as far as how it was supposed to be tracked. A lot of the long players were compilations, but I'm picking these comps because they're full of absolute bangers, and this is one of them. It's a complete heater, and I highly suggest you pick up a reissue of this, as originals usually run to about $150 to $300. Number 2, Frank Sinatra and the Wee Small Hours. This is the beginning of the modern day album. Frank Sinatra was already seen as a washed out has-been by the time he released this for his new label Capitol after being dropped from Columbia. This is the modern day concept album brought to life, and it still holds up incredibly well today. This is a seminal record, not just for male vocals, but for music lovers everywhere. And number 1, Miles Davis, Kind of Blue. There are so many jazz albums that I could have chosen. I could have made this a top 5 jazz albums from the 50s. But if I had to choose just one record that transformed the face of not just jazz, but modern day music, this would be the one record I would say. It has been played to death, and I know it's been featured a lot in the VC, but there's a reason for it. If you still haven't listened to it in its entirety, I highly suggest that you do. So those were our top 5 picks for albums from the 1950s. What would you guys pick? Were there any albums that were missing? Please let us know in the comments below, and I hope that you guys have a great day on your own personal oasis. Cheers.